different teams in the same group. I'm going to guess they're probably going to be in promotions whatever happens.
Yeah, not sure what that structure would be like. But still very highly likely either way that they could end up in the promotion tournament. But given the performances that they're showing here today, you can expect that they could very well earn their way back into Apex for another season.
Well, I mean, they've definitely shown more than Flashlocks, our perennial gatekeepers of promotion week. It's not necessarily the name. You know, people say that any news is good news and that having a nickname is a good thing. I don't know if the perennial gatekeepers of promotion's great. As well, everyone's doing a mirror these days.
I don't know if they're the gatekeepers or if they're just the gate itself. They just make sure it's locked.
Well, I mean, the theory is right. You're either better than Flashlocks and thus in Apex or not, and then challenges. So
yeah. It just sounds too prestigious to call them the gatekeepers.
Hey, they got to earn something, okay? With no match wins, they got to earn at least a nickname.
All right, well, we'll give them that at least. Birdring, they're on attack, going to open up with the Widowmaker. Already gets a couple shots through.
Sensing a Tracer.
Tracer coming by, but won't quite find that hit. Instead, it's a bit of harass from the Genji.
He does kite back, and that means that both DPSs are very overextended.
Yeah, he is very far forward here with this Widowmaker, and Rascal already wreaking havoc, but it's going to be Fissure who picks up the double kill, start things off. Bait and Grip both going down. Birdring does go down in the end. Ursa slashes his way through, but Fissure finds another kill.
And Achilles, you see why Widowmaker is so strong. It was not about headshots whatsoever. It's just the mind games. Two people were drawn. Both the Tracer and the Genji exclusively spent the first skirmish chasing after a Widowmaker. And the reputation alone, Birdring is a great Widowmaker, didn't show it there, but it was still super effective. And that's why if the sightlines allow it, Widowmaker is square in the middle of the map.
Well, they're going to make me eat my words after all.
I told you, man, they're going to go triple support. They want to show this is a viable attack strategy.
They're really going to try to shoehorn their way into this one. So they're going ahead, they'll swap Birdring over onto the Ana. See if they can make it work this time around.
Rascal was on the Ana last time, if you remember. So it's something different at least.
Trading it up a little bit, just sniper to sniper is what they're going for, but already find the kill in onto Urster. Luffy takes him out, Fissure goes low, pops a Primal Rage, keeps himself alive and on the point, at least for the moment here.
Does mean the supports have to be contested. One's down though, Luffy's dead.
Yeah, they do get rid of one, see if they can find more. Dashing around here is Diem. Ripping through Birdring, almost takes him out. Keeps himself alive, at least here for the moment. Dashes forward, there we go, the melee hit comes through, and actually it's going to be the Nano Boost in onto the Tracer. Pulse Bomb comes down. That'll pop the mech as the self-destruct does come through here from Void. Not going to find anything for the kills, but actually KongDoo Panthera will just get cleaned up. Urster using that Dragon Blade comes up with multiple kills and assists.
So let's see if KongDoo Panthera will give this another jolly good try. They put about 4 to 5 minutes into the attack triple DPS. You can kind of see the theory. The theory is the three supports are on the high ground and kind of the Lucio's there healing up the other two, and the sightlines are good for both Zenyatta and the Ana, and it draws the Winston to come up. You kill the Winston, you have some ultimates, you can capture the point. But at some point, the effectiveness at the highest level has to be called into question, although Rascal Helix rockets Urster, and maybe this is the go time.
That's going to be a big opening here for them if they can capitalize on it. Biotic Grenade comes down here, Birdring trying to keep everybody topped off as they push forward in onto this balcony.
Transcendence is used, Luffy was low.
Yeah, it's going to be Transcendence coming down, Discord Orb thrown out in onto Fate, keeps himself alive with a Primal Rage, however, still smacking away, trying to get some kills, but not finding too much, and might actually go down for his troubles. A couple heals coming through now as Rascal gets taken out. Diem throwing out that Pulse Bomb, takes him down from the flank. Trying to find a little bit more here. Room onto Luffy, but can't quite get it. But this is going to be the full retreat coming through from KongDoo Panthera.
Here's what I'll say. Against a team that doesn't run Genji, I don't mind the triple support, but the fact that Urster is basically Genji only means that between him and Diem, someone is always occupying these supports, and they never have the free sightlines to really make the Ana Zenyatta work, and that then Lucio's caught not giving speed to his tanks or his front line. It really does feel a bit haphazard, unless you know for a fact that there's just no main Genji on the enemy team.
I'll see how long they want to stick with it. It's been 2 minutes so far.
I think there's not 2.5 at least. Then they'll go for the sick 1 minute left Zarya swap.
Gotta build up a Graviton Surge. 30 seconds, but here that's gonna be the Nano Boost coming through here from the side. Mighty AOD, but that's gonna be the Attack Visor. And the Nano Boost here onto Rascal, pushes forward straight into the face of the enemy.
This is definitely a meanwhile at 5.
Yeah, Primal Rage comes out yet again. Fate is gonna be smacking him into a corner, trying to take him out, does get him in the end. And KongDoo Panthera, they get cleaned up yet again. Fissure's just gonna say hello and goodbye, jumps off the map.
All right, well, that was the ults use, so I think this is the time to mix it up, and they do. Birdring is jumping on the Tracer.
Thank God.
When they did swap off, they were able to actually full push the map. It was an overtime, or at least with a very small time bank, if my memory serves correctly. They still have some good tools here. We'll have the Lucia ult as well. And Ursta's far away from the Dragon Blade, so getting closer and closer to KongDoo Panthera. They haven't even got a single tick onto point B.
Have to peel back here. Biotic Grenade denying quite a lot of healing coming through. You see, though, that's going to
jamming it down.
Yeah, Posh goes ahead, pops out that Primal Rage, just trying to smack him around as best as he can as he drops down onto the low ground.
All that really did was allow some members to come in because he was never really going to get a kill on that spot. And Luffy's dead again to start off. This has been basically, what, 10 out of 15 skirmishes have been the Zenyatta going down first, if you think about today's games.
Yeah, Luffy, he's been given the J-Hong treatment.
And again,
saw from him
it's unclear.
KongDoo
My first instinct is this is the team not playing around him, but at some point it becomes pretty hard to evaluate with a bit of VOD review. It's probably usually a bit of both, right, when it comes to the Zenyatta dying so frequently.
Yeah. Even without a Sombra, I mean, you see that come through, you know that's a big opening there for them, but it's going to be the sound barrier coming down now. Luffy staying alive, has the Transcendence popped as well. They have a kill on the Sleep and Fate as the respawns will start coming through here from Mighty AOD, but multiple kills so they can finally posture forward in onto this point, maybe even get the first tick. Dash forward in on the Diem, as he keeps himself alive. The sound barrier comes down, and Ursa does get taken out. Wakawaka with a boop, finishes him off. Self-destruct comes through, just find a kill in onto the enemy Lucio here. So it's an opening for Mighty AODs. They try to hold on desperately, and Kariv is swapped over onto that Widowmaker to try to open up some ground here for his squad.
The emergencies are already coming from Mighty AOD. Ursta's onto the Mei on the respawn.
And Primal Rage use here just to smack Rascal off. He's going to sprint away as best as he possibly can with that Winston still pursuing very deep forward. Finish him off, but still a couple members in onto the point, just trying to keep things rolling towards that second tick. They won't be able to get it though. See the swap comes through. Ursa now over onto the Mei.
Yeah, he jumped onto the Mei very early in the piece, but we were tracking the Monkey being super mad, smacking around an old man. But on the point, Mighty AOD were able to get the return frags when they came back from the respawn. So all the action was off camera, but KongDoo Panthera couldn't stick what was a really good initial attack for them. And now suddenly you're feeling like it has to maybe be an overtime push at best for KongDoo.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb comes out. Double again, Diem, he does it.
Both supports each
goes
time.
Down. Luffy and wakawaka get taken out. Rascal able to get the revenge kill onto Diem, but the damage has been done. KongDoo Panthera now less than a minute and a half.
You have to wonder if Mighty AOD just did really good VOD reviews, saw the shutdown jobs that Duel was doing and went, okay, if he's always shutting down the enemy DPS, the supports are probably left alone. As I narrate, there is a 2-for-1, but it's kind of a one not really worth discussing.
He gets the pulse bomb on a Fate, but he dies in the end from Diem, so not too much going on there. Keep pushing forward, but it's really just 3 of them versus the world here for the side of KongDoo Panthera. You hear that one come through. It's going to be on the Fates. He just zaps away, trying to find some kills. Self-destruct gets tossed out here from Void, finds the kill in on the Fate. Actually couldn't drop fast enough to get himself out to safety. Self-destruct finds Rascal as well, so it's going to be kills exchanged on both sides. As KongDoo Panthera all try to push forward in onto this point. Respawn starting to come through here for Mighty AODs. They just desperately try to hold on, prevent that third tick from happening. But Kariv and Diem both going down. ThornCut joining them as he gets knocked into the mech, and now the sound barrier thrown down here by KongDoo Panthera, just trying to keep everybody topped off and safe here onto the point as it keeps rolling, but they haven't quite got that second tick. It's just 15 seconds out from overtime.
Yeah, the Kariv has actually jumped onto the Widowmaker. Just an emergency here.
Pulse Bomb finds Ursa, gets rid of that pesky Mei. No delay tactics coming through from that one. Pulse Bomb thrown out from the side of Mighty AOD, doesn't find anything. Diem goes down. The Helix Rockets with Rascal up on the high ground, able to take him out. Second tick has been found. Self-destruct zoning him back. And just in front of that completion now into overtime is KongDoo Panthera, only losing Luffy so far, and they're still finding kills. It's all on Ursa and Sleep, who pops that sound barrier to try to keep himself topped up, but he's just getting booped off the point. That will be the cap here for KongDoo Panthera. Finally finish it, but in overtime they had so much in the time bank at the start.
And we said don't show too much, but they jumped straight back onto the triple support on offense on Hanamura. That really didn't work when we saw them run it against Rogue, and here we see it once again not really work at the end of the day. They wasted a lot of time investing into it. In the end, they only got the cap in overtime when once again they had a very nice first point capture. So it feels like the profile of KongDoo Panthera on Hanamura is pretty consistent, and I have to say we saw a lot of double kills onto their supports to lead, so definitely no adjustments in that area either.
Yeah, Diem's been on point with these pulse bombs. Coming up big there on Lijang Tower, now on Hanamura. We'll see how the defense is going to hold up here for KongDoo Panthera. That was the big lackluster thing for them on Numbani.
But how many times do you have to see the same thing happen and then not actually also say, okay, well, he's done it for the 6th time this game, a pulse bomb in the back line, taking out the back line. There's many different ways you can approach it. Because this season we haven't had a lot of, say, Esker on McCree trying to escort his supports like we saw in previous seasons. Everyone's diving, triple DPS across the road. But at the end of the day, it feels like KongDoo have just been too often taken down in the same manner that we also have to both compliment Diem and question KongDoo never adjusting their style.
Yeah. Kind of makes you think of X6 on attack on Temple of Anubis, just running it down left.
Running it down left. It's a new Apex meme, run it down left.
We've had a couple of those.
I mean, the new strategy is the Talon strategy, right? Going for the Sombra and Reaper engage.
Well, he found the sweet spot.
Everyone's got it now. Surely everyone doing it is the time for Blizzard to be like, wait, this is a bit silly.
Hang on. And just finding new ones.
To be fair,
on
he's
every
actually
map.
quite exposed there to something like a Widowmaker. Birdring was on the Widowmaker last time, but he's opening on Tracer this time.
Mercer just trying to scout out here. We'll be swapping over to the Widowmaker. No Hanzo feels bad. Maybe on that next patch. Pushing forward, we'll see if he can find any openings where Birdring didn't quite succeed, but the attention drawn was definitely worth it. Already Birdring going down. Scriv snipes him out there with this Zenyatta, but they lose Diem in the exchange as Rascal dashes his way through, and Ursa pushing very far forward here onto the low ground. Just sniping away, containing KongDoo Monster back towards their spawn.
Yeah, KongDoo Panthera don't have position on the point. That's what happens when you have to drop back. They're waiting for a respawn and then for a last-second contest. Here is the contest they were looking for when they gave up the first tick.
Swiping away here, Rascal just throwing out these shurikens, trying to get these kills in, trying to build up for that Dragon Blade as best as he can. 70% so far accrued for him. Discord Orb comes through, but he's still going to fearlessly dash forward. Helps come up with a kill in onto Kariv, but still second tick being gained here for Mighty AOD. Just a couple seconds away from having that one thrown up. Mercer still sniping away here with the Widowmaker, and Rascal getting jumped on, hounded down by this Primal Raged Winston as Fate just tries to take him out. No health pack there available for them as he tries to win the exchange but won't be able to do so. Fissure goes down off screen. Birdring just trying to clean up where he can. Second tick about to come through, and Urster gets wakawaka. Mighty AOD looking very strong on the attack.
Yeah, Fate especially did so much work. If you're trading ults with a Genji as a Winston, you're very happy because your backline, and specifically the Widowmaker, is free hitting and not worried about the Genji cleaning them up. So most credit there goes to Fate. Urster had a pretty easy time. No one was coming even meters within his direction, and similarly large time pull here from Mighty AOD. Haven't seen any hero swaps yet, though.
Oh, boy.
He wants that pulse bomb. Got it.
He just wants to go ahead and take him out nice and clean with the help of Winston. Pretty easy here as they all go ahead, pile in. That's going to be the Transcendence coming down here as they try to stick forward and wrap around this flank. Diem still goes low, has to dash away, get himself out to safety. Looks like he will be able to do so, but Urster off screen cannot say the same before he takes him out. They won't find much ground gain here on the point. KongDoo Panthera holding on tight. But they do get the Primal Rage out. You see Fissure was able to finish off Fate with that.
That means that Mighty AOD can vary up their strategy. We do not often see the Widowmaker on attack on point 2.
Oh,
that was a bit dirty.
Yeah, wrapping around from the side. Diem was too focused on getting away from Void, didn't really know where the enemy Tracer was.
So predictably, Mighty AOD not going to be going for triple support on their attack.
But it's the best.
I mean, someone in KongDoo Panthera, it's probably the coach. He seems to be pretty into the idea if they've run it 2 times on the same map.
There's a clause in their contract, so if they don't run it on Hanamura, they get fired.
And 1 Hanzo game a season as well.
Yep. Getting jumped on here. Ursa has to kite back. Ionic Grenade almost helps take him out. Birdring, just gonna go ahead. Get the casual kill on the Kariv. Use that recall to get himself out to safety.
That was a lot screen.
Yeah, that was like a Lunatic-Hai fan.
That should be a soundboard for Lunatic-Hai fans.
Oh dear.
I mean, I think we're exaggerating, but we're really not.
You wouldn't be able to discern between any of the different sounds because
that's true.
It's all just shrieking.
They all have the same pitch, you know, the same tone as well. It's like a metronome of some sort.
Yeah, and the tone is shrill.
That is fair. Deserved and fair.
It's like, what key is this in? C? No, it's in shrill.
It's in 12-year-old girls.
All right, well, back out into this high ground flank here. Goes Mighty AOD, but they're getting cleaned up by Rascal. Has the Nano Blade drawn out. Comes up with a triple kill. Kariv, Urster, and Fate all get sliced through. As the DPS here for KongDoo Panthera finally showing up on defense.
Yeah, we have really seen very little of Rascal on Genji. Was the primary Genji player on Panthera last season, although KongDoo Panthera were one of the low-tier teams then. Still have never made it out of groups. This will be their first time out this time. It's been Birdring largely running the Genji, but Rascal gets triple and reminds us that, hey, if he needs to jump on it, certainly can. Mighty AOD playing around with strategy. They used the self-destruct during that particular push. Might be one of those 6-ult pushes that, sadly for them, more of a black mark in their mentality than anything else.
Don't have a great track record with that, but here we go. Diem, yeah, finds his way, sneaks around the side, takes out wakawaka. Another jump forward comes through, and Luffy will get taken out.
We've seen that before.
Been taken down here, so KongDoo Panthera going to be very vulnerable, and the sound barrier is out here from the side of Mighty AOD. Self-destruct comes down, not going to find anything here for Void as he re-enters into the mech, but Fissure with that Primal Rage yet again has taken out Erster, but they lose Rascal. The Genji burned out. Diem with the Pulse Bomb gets rid of the Winston. Transcendence has to come through here for wakawaka off the respawn, just trying to keep them off this point as desperately as possible. First tick still nowhere near taken here with the side of Mighty AOD, but wakawaka falls yet again. Diem just constantly focusing out that Zenyatta.
We see the Zenyatta used actually by Mighty, even when their numbers are low. Seems like a big waste of an ultimate there from Kariv.
Yeah, definitely not going to be the best use there. Does kite his way out, keeps himself alive at least for the moment. I say that, Rascal is doing work in the backside. And he goes ahead, finishes him off, so just trying to stagger as much as possible. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. KongDoo Panthera, they want to hold on to this. They do not want to give them the second cap and have to go into that overtime.
And now any threat on the point till we get the Transcends back up, unless Mighty AOD were looking to swap, which they do. Kariv is going to be jumping on the Ana, but I imagine that's more due to the fact that building up a Transcends would have taken a lot of this 2.5 minute time bank, rather than saying that Transcends was pre-planned, although sometimes we're not to know. We do have a soldier, so Nana boost onto him in the next few minutes will be fine, but how long can they really wait before using their tools?
See if they can find it though, but already Fate being taken out. Birdring getting that pulse bomb through, helps kill him off. The leap forward comes out from Fissure, jumps in, helps take him out. Sleep and Erster both gonna fall. Luffy finding the kill with that biotic grenade. Rascal, a bit too far forward, a bit too deep there, will get taken down. Kariv finds the kill, but yet again, Mighty AOD is getting picked off one at a time. The staggers are burning, it's just, burning up so much of their time bank.
Yeah, I mean, Ursa's back onto the Genji after not getting any value out of the tactical visor. I would have liked to see, once again, this new strategy that's been sitting in challenges. We saw last week, the Talon strategy of Sombra and Reaper has been very good on these second points, having everyone unable to not opt in to taking massive damage out of the Death Blossom, but that's not what they want to do, and Ursa still has a long way to go on his ultimate.
Back up onto the high ground here is Mighty AOD, but they're still losing members. Rascal finds Diem for a little bit more. Just poke out where he can. Has the Dragon Blade ready to go, so Mighty still going to have a lot of trouble pushing forward. Still haven't even gotten that first tick. It's just a minute on the clock.
It just feels like the best case scenario is the classic 6-ult versus 6-ult situation, because KongDoo Panthera very, very close to that. Pulse Bomb will be up in just a jiffy, and wakawaka very close to the Transcendence, so it's going to take some brilliance. And Diem has had quite a bit this game.
Yeah, he's sneaking around yet again, throws out the Pulse Bomb. Will he find anything? No, not this time. Cannot get the kill in on the wakawaka, and yet Fate goes down. ThornCut popped out of the back to tanky front line.
They need to all jump off right now. They need to respawn. They're going to have one attack in overtime. That's the best case scenario for Mighty.
And he staggers at this point. It's going to be very damning for them.
You got to get the heck out of dodge. Nowhere near anyone chasing you down.
4 to 6 in ultimates.
Yep. I mean, DMs, that will probably come up during the course of a fight, but
if ThornCut can, kill multiple people with a self-destruct, that's probably going to be their best bet. Diem looking for the opening yet again here. Biotic Grenade does get forced out by Luffy to keep himself alive. It's going to be the push forward coming through, but already Sleep's been taken out. Rascal now drawing out the Dragon Blade with the Nano Boost on top of it. Looking for a bit more. Won't quite be able to find him, but still can poke out. But Mighty AOD, 3 members already taken out as Rascal rejoins the fight. Self-destruct tossed out here from the side of Mighty. Won't find a damn thing forward. ThornCut did get taken out by Birdring. And they're just going to go ahead, clean up house. KongDoo Panthera taking Hanamura for themselves.
Yep, they pick it up. Again, we're in a weird spot when it comes to hype because the large implications of this match are already gone, but
there's a bunch of illegal vigilantes running around.
Well, I'm ready to see 12 vigilantes fight each other just momentarily. KongDoo Panthera on attack. I spy with my little eye a Mercy, but no Pharah this time. It's going to be very much about getting the Genji through the first ultimate, you'd have to think, but also getting Birdring some picks.
So far, shots have been raining through. Hasn't really found any targets yet. Yeah, we'll finally go ahead and spot him out. Not receiving the boost at the moment. There's people that need to be healed, so he's all on his own.
This is good for Mighty AOD. They know that they're contesting the cart, but they're not actually giving sight lines
Oh, there's
a sight line.
Yeah, nice little pop-up from birdring. Comes with the kill, finds Diem as well. And mighty AOD, they're just going to get dismantled on this first little push from the side of KongDoo Panthera. So birdring didn't find it on Hanamura, but he's got the shots on Dorado.
Oh, he definitely had the shots. The Hanamura one was effective, if not headshots this time.
It's just a warm-up.
That's true. We won't talk about his other support Ana attempts.
We'll ignore that.
He's a Widowmaker, that's for sure.
All right, well, Diem doing what he does best, trying to just kill Luffy. Go ahead, be kiting back, force out the recall from him. Barrier doing a lot to mitigate that damage, pushing forward into the back line, but Urster's found his way in onto birdring, getting rid of that Widowmaker. Doesn't even need the help of that Tracer this time around. Diem finds him sticking onto Fissure, takes him out, so that's going to halt the push here for KongDoo Panthera, at least for the moment. Mighty AOD stopping him just in front of point A.
Yeah, Luffy was a bit too late. Could have been 2 there on the res, but didn't quite have enough ult percentage. So we'll just back away. Harder to get those opening picks this terrain. The same sightlines that there are the start of the push here on Dorado.
Plenty of ultimates to work with, though, KongDoo Panthera, but they don't want to have to invest all of them just to get this point A cap, especially when they're already so close.
Transcendence is up for Kariv, so baiting that out would be massive for Rascal, getting the sort of value we saw right at the tail end of Hanamura, but easier said than done.
Yeah, let's get a couple shuriken hits off there, chunks him down quite a bit. Doesn't quite find that kill himself. Now goes low. Transcendence going to be answered here by Luffy, keeping him alive, topping him off. But Void's already been popped out of the mech. He will get taken out. And Urster with the Dragon Blade swipes his way through to finish off Kariv.
Wakawaka used the ult right at the start there just to bring back the Zenyatta, but it's gone down already. Feels like the swaps are going to start here for KongDoo Panthera.
Yeah, Rascal going really low, barely stays alive. Gets that right click in onto mid-air, takes him out, and now gets a melee hit onto Urster to finish off the enemy Genji. Should be able to get this pop out of the mech here on the ThornCut. Does so. Self-destruct comes through, however, so they have to go ahead and kite back, but no kills going to be found from it, nor from Voids.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go the way of Mighty AOD, but now it's more of a delay game. They're looking for respawns, stop the full cap on the first point here on Dorado. Some of the respawns come in now.
Diem trying to buy some time here. There's going to be a leap forward here from Fate as well. The dash through from Rascal means that Diem falls. Urster able to find wakawaka, however, and now KongDoo Panthera just getting swept under the rug. birdring and Rascal, the only 2 surviving members, and as I say that, birdring does go down. So 5 kills here for Mighty AOD, holding strong right in front of point A with just a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Mighty AOD almost got undone by the spawner's advantage on attack on the first point because they were winning in trades, but the respawns came to the proximity, and you thought, oh, maybe a KongDoo Panthera can do this. The D.Va bought enough time on the payload. The respawns come in. The formation is strong, but now it's on KongDoo Panthera and specifically Rascal to make this work.
Yeah, might have to invest a little bit more, but already built supports inside of KongDoo Panthera have been taken out. Luffy and wakawaka both taken down as Urster comes up with a double kill, and Fissure's going to fall soon. So, still KongDoo Panthera suffering heavy losses with just 30 seconds left on the clock, and Rascal goes down, a big stagger here. And Mighty AOD, they're still looking for the full hold.
And you really have to compliment, they have not capitulated, even though they are no longer playing for any real stakes in the season. Started off well for KongDoo Panthera. We were cawing and awing over the shots from birdring, but since then they've been frustrated. The swaps have come in late, and there's still good tools for Mighty AOD to full hold.
But Urster, here he comes, has that Dragon Blade drawn out, already finds one on the Luffy. Can he get more? Looking for birdring, can't quite get in range.
Single kill.
And has to sheath the blade, but still Rascal goes down.
With ult.
So a lot of the DPS here from KongDoo Panthera has been neutered, as wakawaka, as he gets taken out. Void popped into the mech, will die. birdring as well. It's all on Fissure and Luffy to try to keep the hopes alive as it's into overtime, but with them just getting picked off one after the other, it's going to be a full hold from Mighty AOD.
Full hold on KongDoo Panthera is not something I predicted to say in this series against Mighty AOD. They kind of stuck onto the Genji, Widowmaker, and Mercy for a little too long, and then when they changed there, the rejiggering didn't really make a lot of sense either. Rascal had the ult for the final 2 team fights, but didn't really find a spot to use it and died both times with that ult available. So feels like KongDoo Panthera is going to lose the second map very quickly. It'd be insane to see a second and better full hold occur, and we might actually have a best of one, a hybrid map to decide the whole series.
What a way that this set's going already. I mean, we thought coming into this, the 3-0 perhaps for KongDoo Panthera, very swiftly going into what is likely going to be one of the closest matches that we've ever had of MVP space and CONBOX. But Mighty AOD, they're ready to go the distance and take this to 5 maps.
I mean, the last thing you'd expect in a series where one team needs to 3-0 is a seesaw. You expect it to be pretty one-sided, one way or the other. The first map went to KongDoo Panthera, everyone would be like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Mighty AOD were wrestled back by KongDoo Panthera. Their next hopes were dashed, but they still are very serious about picking up a match win in the group stages. Will be the last time we see them, almost certainly, till they play in the promotions, and they want to leave the fans, who have been very low, who have been very loud and vocal, with an impression.
Certainly making one right now. See what they want to stick with as the clock ticks down, but for now, KongDoo Panthera coming out with that triple tank with Rascal on May. With only 15 seconds left to swap, this should be what we see starting. So they are, going all in on this full hold. No triple support, but we'll have Rascal backing them up, freezing up these DPS members of Mighty AOD.
Yeah, seeing the support May is something we haven't seen since Season 2. Teams have largely abandoned her. Thought it would be the ult nerf, but it wasn't. It was very much about the meta really favoring dive that she can definitely struggle against. With the information, no need to be running the Widowmaker, because there's no easy picks when you have these high health meat shields on the side of KongDoo Panthera, so the quick adaptation from Mighty AOD.
Yeah, Sleep just looking for an opening shot.
You have to give up a lot of free meterage when you go for triple tank, but feels like we're back in Season 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this Reinhardt, need to play in the choke. Ice wall comes down here. Rascal trying to isolate a couple members here. So far, working out pretty well as they do finish off Fade. Tries to get the freeze in on the ThornCut. Can't quite get it to finish him off, but just building up towards that Blizzard as best as possible.
And one of the reasons why this strategy was so effective on maps like Dorado was that these AoE ultimates that are provided by the Mei, by the Roadhog. D.Va, of course, will always be in the comp, has AoE herself, and the ultimate on the Reinhardt, you can actually single ult hold a point and thus just meter out an ult for a push, and full hold. So KongDoo Panthera bringing back an old strategy, but I like the time they're choosing to do it.
Yeah. Already a couple ultimates available. Urster with the Dragon Blade going to be one of them. See that Transcendence coming down, keeping it all topped off as he slices his way through, and Luffy and wakawaka will both go down. KongDoo Panthera already losing their supports. Earthshatter thrown down by Fissure. Tosses out the Flame Strike, but he's still going to get taken out right off the bat. Rascal desperately trying to buy some time here. Has the Blizzard thrown down, trying to pop ThornCut out of this mech, but Urster swipes his way through, and just like that, Mighty AOD will be taking us to Game 5.
Yeah, you just complement a strategy, but forget the fact, because guess what? Finally the Torbjorn's getting a bit of reinforcement. Could have two shields here between the Reinhardt and the D.Va defense matrix, because, well, they're gonna try and hold this point right at this high vantage point and try to get that Molten Core quickly.
Now we just need the Symmetra to really
Of course,
seal it all
Rascal's
together.
an Orisa player.
Why not?
He plays everything else.
Well, they have a Reinhardt and an Orisa on the defense to try to keep their
Let's talk about
Torbjorn
how they
alive.
have two shields and also a defense matrix for the Torbjorn turret. This should be the longest standing Torbjorn turret.
Well, before we really get into the action, just to refresh your memory, I have undone my next button, as Mighty did pick up the win on Dorado, so I'm keeping to it.
I thought that was just because you were really excited to see Orisa, Ilios.
I mean, I'm not ripping my shirt off.
Not yet.
We'll see about that one. Jump forward comes through from Fake, just trying to knock them off that high ground, but they're still holding firm. Double shields. That barrier on the right click here.
Torbjorn turret getting a lot of percentage, like you can see.
Yeah, and Urster going to be the first one to go down. Several members of Mighty AOD going very low. Fissure trying to get that fire strike out. Find the killing blow. Quite get it. Diem's dashing away, trying to keep himself alive desperately here.
I mean, this seems like the sort of mad scientist stuff that Team Korea was doing way back when at the World Cup with their Sombra Torbjorn and Ana strategies.
Or like a Mighty, or a Meta Athena type game, but
They're giving away the first point in all the commotion.
first tick
of the checkpoint, sorry.
Just don't want to surrender that high ground, but here comes ThornCut trying to boop them all off. Does knock Fissure down to the ground. Scorn Orb comes through onto him. He's going to charge forward. Can't find the pan. Goes low, but
Fissure
manages to
just
stay
gets
alive.
out.
Yeah, and ThornCut on the side here. He will get popped out. He'll get taken down. The double boop from Void comes up with the kill. And KongDoo Panthera just sweep their way right through Mighty AOD.
This innovative strategy all about keeping the Torbjorn turret up. It has not died, so I said it may be the longest lasting Torbjorn turret. I don't know how many maps we've seen where Torbjorn's turret never died.
I mean, this is the stuff that they probably didn't want to show going into the round of 8. This is the things that they wanted to keep secret. But
Or they were just like, well, let's just do this. We'll never do this again. Who's to say?
Well, Diem, can he find the big pulse bomb?
I mean, the big pulse one's killing the Torbjorn turret.
He throws it out, not going to get a damn thing for it.
He gets the Molten Core for it. He had to actually pop Molten Core to stop it going down.
All right, but still, go ahead, come up with 2 kills. Self-destruct, not going to find anything here. As Fate and Kariv do go down, they find Fissure, but Sleep gets taken out, so no supports available for Mighty AOD. ThornCut will fall, so no tanks available. And they will just get halted yet again. KongDoo Panthera with this innovative comp. Really want to just go for this full hold on Eichenwalde. Shut this out nice and cleanly.
Let's call it the wakawaka shuffle. That should be the name. The wakawaka has a great name. Shuffle goes with it for some reason. The tourbillon turret, fear not, Apex fans, has lived for 2.5 minutes.
All right, well now, we have this power ultimate here from Rascal. Really just make sure they can rip through Earth Shatter, as well as an Nano Boost, so plenty of tools available to KongDoo Panthera. Let's see what they can get done. This is going to be Dragon Blade drawn out by Urster, but he gets taken out right off the bat. Fissure coming up with the kill and still has that Earth Shatter in the back pocket should he need to use it. Self-destruct thrown down by ThornCut, comes up with just a kill onto the Orisa ultimate and the turret. Won't find much more than that, and Sleep goes down, but Fate finally showing up off-screen. Primal Rage killing Luffy and Fissure. Could be the big opening here for Mighty AOD to try to get this first cap through. Second tick's already been accrued. They're starting to tick up as best as possible. Rascal will fall, and now it's all on birdring. Big recall comes through, keeps himself alive, but gets taken out by Diem in the end.
A couple of cleanup kills. The point will go over to the side of Mighty AOD, but you'd have to say when it comes to
pretty effective
amount of timeage there, the fact that a tourbillon turret lived, what, 2 minutes 54 or so was just the tonic they needed to buy a lot of delay, and the castle phase is a very difficult one to push with a large time bank, and nigh on impossible unless they really start to keep it going, because if there's a last second contest, there's a massive defender's advantage to KongDoo Panthera.
Yeah. Very far away from the ultimates here.
Did not use the ultimate here. The Earthshadow's still up. Boop down, though, is the...
Yeah, he's completely isolated. It's going to be the Discord Orb coming through. You can see wakawaka desperately trying to stick on top of him to keep him alive, but won't be able to do so. And birdring gets picked up off screen. Still suffering losses is KongDoo Panthera. The payload's just going to keep on trucking for Mighty AOD.
Yeah, really nice from ThornCut, booping off the Reinhardt. Contesting the top of the castle has always been a pretty standard thing, so it was done well as wakawaka does get rid of the Diva.
Yeah, Rascal barely avoiding that stick. Himself alive and finishes off Diem at the same time. Kariv falls, so just sniping his way through. So finally, KongDoo Panthera able to posture back forward and get control over this payload.
Still the spot right now. It's not the best defensively from KongDoo, so they'll back away. Allow a little bit of pushing to come through from Mighty AOD when they do regroup.
It's only going to get worse when they get to the bridge.
And that's the thing, is the bridge onwards is just... Getting a single push on the bridge is one of those very rare things. It's like a double rainbow. You kind of have to smile about it whenever you see it. KongDoo Panthera just trying to use the terrain here.
birdring looking for an opening here for this pole bomb. Drops down, looking for Diem. Transcendence comes through. Tosses it out blindly, won't find a stick, won't find a kill. And Urster, in the meantime, is cleaning up house. Triple kill coming through with a loose Fissure. Only trading out Fate. Here is Mighty AOD.
Yeah, some cleanup here from Urster. He got all those kills with the Dragon Blade available. But now we get the fateful question. Can they actually get in position here, KongDoo Panthera, to actually get off a serious contest? They do have the sound barrier to just open up. We're going to see the replay of the double kill. It's got in the back line.
Dashes through for another. Goodbye.
But in the mini screen, this should be the main story because we are going to see that final second contest. And Urster, he's in the back line.
Yeah, has the wraparound. Luffy looking for the sleep dart. Won't be able to find it. Comes up with the kill. Meanwhile, wakawaka taken out by that self-destruct from ThornCut. And KongDoo Panthera with Void and Fissure about to go down. That's going to be the team kill. That's going to be point B. 45 seconds yet again on the clock as they complete.
Yeah, Urster so great. Diem and Urster have done a fantastic job of occupying the time of supports. It was largely Diem. This time it's Urster. They finally do break through those castle doors, and for the first time in a long time, we're actually looking towards point C of Eichenwalde.
Yeah, and they have him shoved all the way back into the spawn. Rebel comes through, Mighty AOD. Several members stuck to this payload as they keep pushing. Just under 2 minutes now on the clock.
Birdring's jumped onto the Roadhog. That's the first true swap in a while.
All right, well, there's a really big stagger there onto ThornCut. You see Mighty AOD, they don't want to play without that Diva, so they will go ahead and kite back behind the gate.
They still do have one serious push, you'd say, with a 1 minute 30 time bank while they're waiting for respawns, and then a potential overtime contest, but on this particular map, hard to pull off. Footsteps coming through the Tracer, looking for the Reinhardt.
Yeah, finds the stick, Fissure goes down. That's going to be a massive opening now for Mighty AOD as they push for Transcendence being used as they go ahead and shove back. the members of KongDoo Panthera. Dragonblade finds one for Erster, will get pooped to the side, won't get much more than that.
The meterage is still happening, remember. They're keeping them in spawn, so they're getting so close to closing out Eichenwalde.
The hook barely missing his birdring, gets that nano boost coming through, but still just can't find much outside of killing the baby D.Va. Nearly has the whole hog, but
issue though is
used.
When D.Va's dead, they don't have the defense matrix, they don't have the zone tools, they have to back away. Their front line is so much more brittle.
But even so, to make it this far,
yeah, exactly,
already for Mighty AOD is
I'm only talking
impressive.
in terms of finishing the map. As you say, finishing the map is a luxury. Pushing this far is already job well done by the side of Mighty
gets
AOD.
the stick yet again, won't quite find the kill this time. Fissure does stay alive.
ThornCut launches it.
Tossed out. Can he find anything? No, not going to find the kill. And birdring hops out that whole hog, just trying to shove them back as it's just 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Still, that means the D.Va ult will not be able to buy time, will not be able to buy positioning, and again, KongDoo Panthera have to go back to the driving, to the drawing board here, and Mighty AOD, they've got a couple of ults. Can they find an innovative way to attack? Because right now it's looking tough.
Diem really playing with fire here, nearly goes down, keeps himself alive down the sound barrier, comes out from Mighty AOD, keeping everybody topped off as best as they possibly can. Erster drawing out the Dragonblade, comes up with one kill on the Rascal. Birdring does go down, only losing Diem so far, who can rejoin the fight rather quickly. That's going to be the nano boost tossed in onto Fissure, looking for that Earth Shatter. Hasn't really been able to line it up quite yet, might just have to use it only on the monkey. Throws it down, won't get anything for it. Yeah, Transcendence comes out, just going to be pushing around that Zenyatta, who keeps himself alive. And wakawaka finished off by ThornCut as they desperately try to get this payload moving yet again. Just a few meters left to go. The cleanup finally coming through.
Rascal here.
Yet again, dashing his way for 3 kills. Rascal will fall. That's going to be the completion in overtime. Mighty AOD yet again showing up.
Yeah, full pushing Eichenwalde. Now a very tall order for KongDoo Panthera, who kind of have the double whammy of showing a strategy on Eichenwalde they would have much preferred to keep hidden. It was gimmicky, but it was very effective in really cutting down the time bank, so huge credit to Mighty AOD to be able to full push Eichenwalde after only having a minute in the time bank after point A.
Impressive stuff. Erster, especially on his Genji, is just destroying KongDoo.
He is a big statement. I feel like Erster and Diem have been significantly better than birdring and Rascal, which never sounds like it's going to be a thing that will happen reliably. We spent so much time fawning and praising birdring and Rascal, and they've had their moments, but consistently, either Diem or Erster solo has taken out the supports, and then the other one has done the work on the other part of the fight.
I mean, that's the thing. You go back to the interview that we saw at the beginning of the broadcast. It was a bit of a bait and switch. They said, you know what, we're going to focus on the DPS of KongDoo Panthera. Take out birdring and Rascal. But it's been all about going for wakawaka, for Luffy, and Luffy especially. I don't even know how many times he's died during this set, but it's a high number.
And wakawaka, recent convert, was of course a flex player previous to this season, jumping on the support, so maybe they thought they saw some weaknesses, and you cannot really question the fact that wakawaka and Luffy kill death scores. Jump on Winston's lab after the match when we see the post-game scores. They're going to be hard reading for KongDoo Panthera fans. And let's see if KongDoo Panthera are going to show one new thing or just go super standard on the attack, because again, they've done what they set out to do, which was make it to the next round, but everything else is just going to be this bad feeling, you know, it's that bite at the back of your neck. It's that really bad taste after a nice meal, because they should be happy, but I'm going to hazard a guess that they're not particularly happy.
Definitely not. I mean, they showed us that new composition on defense. It was very strong, but everything fell apart after point A.
Rascal going to go for the very offensive loop around, which you can do at the pharmacy.
All the way around the back. The rest of the team kind of backing up here. He will go ahead, pop his head out, start firing away. Still not finding too much contact, though, with these rockets. Needs to build up that barrage very swiftly. Finally, as they get pushed into that chokehold.
Luffy's low, Luffy's dead.
Yeah, Luffy gets taken out yet again. Erster just isolating these supports, just snipes him right out of the sky with a dash. And comes up with a kill on the birdring as well. And 4 members dead. Rascal nearly gone. That's just going to be the halt here on this push from KongDoo Panthera.
Yeah, that attacking strategy, looping around, is super strong against the old meta, which was the static defense with, say, a Reinhardt and a Soldier in the top room above point A, but against what is basically defensive dive with a Reinhardt on the side of Mighty AOD, wasn't going to find the same value on the shot, so they're going to go for the front door push this time.
Already scaling down here, finds
Kariv's dead.
Kariv. That's going to be a nice little start for the side of KongDoo Panthera. Can they find more? Barrage coming closer and closer. That's going to be the Earth Shadow thrown down. Finds two. Yeah, Fissure and Void both getting knocked out, and the pin will take out the Winston.
There is the revive, though.
Sleep, that's going to be the sound barrier coming down. Keeps Sleep alive just last second, but Fate can't say the same. Answered now by KongDoo Panthera, but Ursa with the Dragon Blade goes high in the sky, takes out Rascal, looking for a bit more. The deflection not going to buy him too much ground when he's going up against the Winston. He will get taken out in the end. Pulse Bomb in onto Void, knocks him out of the mech as Diem comes up with that one and also finishes off Luffy. But now it's just a bit of a scramble. Everybody all over the place as Mighty AOD desperately tries to hold on to the point. That first tick still has not come through for KongDoo.
Yeah, Resurrect didn't get a lot of value, but now we see Rascal back on, fires out the barrage, gets just the Winston and then falls down, so not massive value there either. And KongDoo Panthera still continue to be frustrated.
Yeah, took a lot of self-damage as well there. Rascal so just set himself up to be picked off very swiftly.
Yeah, but the respawns are a lot closer. Reinhardt
Bomb comes out. Can he find much? No, can't quite get bait, but with Fissure jumping in, they will be able to finish him off now. Trying to find Sleep. There's a fraction of HP left. Does get taken down in the end. Fissure coming up with a double kill. You can see Kariv zoned back into this room. Can't quite get to his teammates to try to keep him alive. Biotic Grenade comes down. Does force birdring back for a little bit, but goes back in. Finds the kill. And this finally should be KongDoo at least gaining some ground. Maybe even that first tick on the point, if not the cap. Mighty AOD starting to get picked off one at a time.
Yeah, a lot of heroics from birdring, dueling out the Ana, then the opposing Tracer. Finally, the respawn advantage gets them what they're looking for. They were never truly investing in the dive. Rascal actually jumped off the Farah onto Sombra right at the tail end of the point. They'll claim it, and ironically, with a pretty similar time bank to what Mighty AOD had.
Plus 30 seconds. 45 to minute 15, so not too bad, but also...
Definitely need to swap off the Sombra for the castle phase.
What are you talking about? She's the best. Sombra on the ramparts just...
Hey, that's our second match when we get Twilight, who's Sombra only.
This is true.
Or so it feels.
Turns out he's very good at...
Oh, the Earthshadow does hit birdring. Nice.
Yeah, just kind of...
I don't know if it was worth, but it hit.
Yeah, Fate just comes up with a kill. The res will come through, though, so I'm going to go ahead and undo everything that he did with that hit. Turns to the side, tries to get that fire strike in.
Whoa, what's going on here?
To get the hit, won't quite find it. Diem gets taken out by Rascal with those Helix rockets, and a very ill-advised charge forward from Fate sends him to his doom.
Seems to be accepting his fate, but will mean some more meterage for KongDoo Panthera, as ThornCut has had enough of this cruel castle phase.
And this could be a very long push forward here from the side of KongDoo Panthera.
And then you look at Mighty AOD, it's going to have to be the DPS ults getting a lot of value, because Sound Barrier is the only thing that's going to be complementing them. Winston and Diva both going to be quite a while away from having some space control tank ults.
He's just going to have another game-breaking Dragon Blade.
Been pretty good, been pretty on point in this series. He's definitely won the Genji battle.
Yeah. Yeah, pushing forward, looking for a target for this Pulse Bomb. Doesn't need to use it to take out Luffy, but already loses two members on his team. Ursa now drawing out the Dragon Blade, finishes off Rascal, dashes through the air, finds wakawaka, gets himself out to safety, making sure that self-destruct does not clip him. Well, dueling out with the Winston, but yet again, no real way to mitigate that damage coming out, so he will die, but Fissure gets taken out mid-air by Diem at the end.
Yeah, pretty inconsequential given where the heroes were at. There was two on the point there from Mighty AOD, so no kiting away for the Winston. And the defense will continue. It's back on that fateful bridge, or at least approaching the bridge. We're going to see a replay of Fate.
Great prediction. I mean,
he
again, probably not worth it, especially since the res came out immediately after, but...
Again, it was cool.
Yeah.
Whether it was the right use of Earth Shatter, that part I don't have the answer to, but it was sick.
It was a solo queue Earth Shatter.
Exactly.
So now up onto the high ground is KongDoo Panthera, trying to snipe out, trying to find a pick so that can safely go down onto the low ground. ThornCut go low, good off screen, but they're trying to top him off as best as possible. Pulse Bomb thrown down, not going to find anything, but Ursa finds wakawaka yet again. Now Luffy taken out by Fate with a lead. Means that no supports are available for the side of KongDoo Panthera. A 3 for 2. As they lose out, self-destruct thrown down here by ThornCut. Not going to find anybody with the explosion, but still just zones them off. And
Transcendence actually is invested by Kariv, so they feel like with the support and peel advantage, they could make this push happen.
It's going to be the sound barrier answered here by KongDoo Panthera. Diem throws out the Pulse Bomb, gets a little bit of damage in, but not going to find much. Actually gets taken out by Rascal as he rejoins the fight. Mighty AOD still playing very far forward up onto this payload. Going to stop it from rolling. It's just 45 seconds left on the clock, and it's still KongDoo Panthera having to go the distance. Sound barrier comes down, ThornCut very tanky here on the Diva, pushing forward, trying to get the kill in on the Luffy, and they should be able to get it. He does get taken out in the end, but they trade back onto the Winston.
Trading down this time, KongDoo Panthera is picking up the kills. It could still be a last-second contest. That's basically a team wipe on the side of KongDoo Panthera. Kariv used his ultimate just to buy time, just to halt the cart. Has he bought enough time for them to actually contest? Because we're very close.
ThornCut's waiting. He's going to have his self-destruct ready to go. It tosses this one out. Can he find anything? The barrier's thrown down by the winds, but he still comes up with a kill in onto wakawaka. But is that enough for Mighty AOD to maintain this hold? 4 minutes, or 4 meters, 2.29. All that they need to do, and Void still has a self-destruct of his own, goes forward, tries to take out Kariv, gets him in the end, but they don't have it.
Void was off the point.
Mighty AOD, that's a C9 moment if I've ever seen one.
It
Mighty AOD defy odds. They do not qualify for the round of 8, but they go out.